The Southern Pecan Cake from Beatrice let you anything you have to meet. A kitchen decadent, moist caramel cake, bursting with too many, big enough to share with the whole group, but delicious enough that you won't want to share? A big check on that one. The Southern Pecan Cake, the newest cake to the Beatrice Bakery lineup. Try it for yourself at Beatrice Bakery, online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Hey, moms and dads, bring the whole crew to a Salt Dogs baseball game and unleash the fun. Visit Haymarket Park all summer for fireworks Fridays, souvenir Saturdays, Sunday Monday, and more. With 50 home games, even weekdays can be unforgettable. Planning an event? Make it a home run with group discounts. When you need an outing the whole family will enjoy, unleash the fun with the Salt Dogs. Call 402-474-2255 or visit saltdogs.com for tickets.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the ticket crew as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show, powered by Sunbelt Rentals. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador, Select Plumbing, Jimmy John's, Lincoln Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits, Fleet Beef, Yours Cheese Spread on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Rappin with Rico and former All-American quarterback Steve Taylor, Nebraska Football Hall of Famer.
Taylor picks it up. Fires, touchdown.
Canadian Football League Grey Cup champion. And first-team All-American quarterback Steve Taylor.
5 for Steve Taylor. That is a new Nebraska record.
Two-time Nebraska high school track and field state runner-up and two-time captain for the University of Nebraska Kearney track and field team, Enrique Alvarez Clary, better known as Rico. Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, this is Rappin' with Rico and former All-American quarterback Steve Taylor.
Well, here we are. Welcome in to the inaugural show. Rapping with Rico and All-American quarterback Steve Taylor. I am Rico. Across the table from me, somebody who we had to drag into the station and finally get to sit down in this chair.
No, you didn't drag me. I'm pumped. You know, DP has just been doing some great things with the ticket. I'm in a good place. I feel confident about the Huskers as far as what they're doing so far. And timing is right for me. The day is right. The time is right. It's not a golf day. It's an off day. The only thing I'm missing is lunch with my wife. But no, so I'm excited about it.
We finally got Steve Taylor to sit down in the chair. Welcome in. Welcome to the Ticket family. Yes. It's great to have you a part of us. And anybody that's listening or watching Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Starter Heyman Jewelers live video stream, you can call, text in. You can message us on there on the Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line, 402-464-5685. The inaugural show.
Yes.
Rapping with Rico and
our pregame, our preseason. We're gonna get our feet wet. We're gonna fill each other out and get to know one another.
Yeah.
And pronounce your name again for me.
Enrique Alvarez Clary.
Okay, now I got to get that because you're like Canadian, French Canadian, Puerto Rican. You know,
just put no French or Canadian
African,
in there.
No, but
there's something in there.
You got the QUE at the end of your name.
Yeah.
So, you know,
well, that's a Spanish thing.
That's kind of French too, though. I had French. Yeah, it is. Yeah, cats could say. Oh yeah, it's kind of French.
I don't know. Puerto Rico is just an island of crazy people. So it's all good there.
But
since I've been here at the Ticket for a while,
yes.
The people, they make fun of me. They know who I am. They make fun. But we need to know outside of the football realm.
Yes.
Who is Steve Taylor?
Steve Taylor is a kid from Fresno, California. Love football, love sports, baseball, soccer. I played it all. My daughters didn't believe me, right? And
They never do.
no, they don't. I used to tell them how to play soccer. And what do you know about soccer, Dad? Well, I played. I was the only black guy on the team. I played. Anyway, no. So I'm from Fresno, California. People know that. Was recruited out of San Diego. Just love sports. Football became one of my favorites, but baseball was my first love. Been married for 30 years. Been together for 35 years. We met my junior year in college. My wife, lovely wife, Stephanie. I'm just a kid that just want to have a good life. And right now I'm just trying to live my best life. And so far, so good. So and I love Husker football. It's in my blood. So I'm just excited to be here. And I'm just like anyone else. I love the golf. That's my passion. Since I retired. My game's getting better because I had elbow surgery February 9th. So things are coming around. No, so I'm just a simple guy. My daughters tell me I roll a different way, and I guess that's true. Some people call me high maintenance, which I'm really not. I got that name on the Husker Cruise from the All-American Graham, and his lovely wife called me HM, high maintenance. but I'm really the most low maintenance guy you can possibly be. No, so I just like to have fun and enjoy life.
How did you find your way to Nebraska from California? How did a fantastic athlete such as yourself end up playing quarterback for Tom Osborne in Nebraska?
Back then it was easy peasy. Nebraska was rolling. I mean, I saw Turner Gill and Mike Rozier, the triplets, playing the 83-84 Orange Bowl. I was a junior in high school, and I was going to football camp at Cal Berkeley with my coach, driving up there, and he said, "Where do you want to go to school?" And I said, "I want to go to University of Nebraska Lincoln." He said, "Okay, when we get back, we're going to get your 3 or 4 or 5 best games, send it off to Nebraska and see where it goes." So went there, had a camp, came back. He did that. I got a letter from, at that time, Steve Peterson, the recruiting coordinator, and said, "Hey, we're taking one quarterback in this quarterback class, and you're our first choice." I won the lottery.
There you go.
So I verbally committed, but I did tell Coach I was taking my other 4 official visits because I live with my coach in San Diego, and I wanted to get out of the house. So when I came to Nebraska in December while they were practicing for the Sugar Bowl with Sundberg and those Doug DeBose and those guys, I was squeaky clean. But Colorado, Minnesota, USC, UCLA, all those other schools, I had a good time. Cal Berkeley, I just had a good time. I wasn't going. Minnesota, when Lou Holtz was there, I just partied and had a good time, went through the motions and everything. So
but you knew you were going.
I knew I was coming here. Coach Osborne got a little bit. He got a little nervous.
I was say, was he was okay with you taking the other visits?
We kind of had a little pinky finger agreement that he wouldn't bring any other quarterbacks up if I verbally committed. He kind of fudged on that because he said, "Steve, players change their mind all the time." So that's when I decommitted and said I'm going to the University of Washington. And then later, obviously changed my mind after I had I got put in timeout or something, whatever, right? So it worked out for the best. So so I won the lottery. So that process for me was easy, and I had a great time doing it because I knew where I was going. Nebraska was one of the best teams, if not, they were the best team in the country. And why would you not come to Nebraska? Well, it was cold. It was cold, but I was willing to sacrifice the weather, the lack of diversity, the lack of things to do, all that kind of stuff that's attractive now. Winning was the most important thing to me, and having that college football experience, and there was no better place in Nebraska at that time.
And like we were saying, you a supreme athlete. Not only did you excel on the football field, but you excelled on the diamond as well. Yeah,
that's one thing that people don't know. Like, baseball was my first love, and I was drafted by the Yankees out of high school and never talked to a scout. Never.
Really?
I snuck out to go to McDonald's to take the psychological test. My coach told them that I was going to Nebraska to play football. Do not talk to Steve Taylor. So they were at all the baseball games. Ken Griffey was drafted my year. And so I never talked to a scout or anything, but I did say, hey, I did sneak out just to get away that one day to go to McDonald's. And I never forget that. Took the test, and I was drafted by the Yankees. I tried to play later, but it was too late. Coach Osborne, we had a chance for a national championship, and there's a lot of extenuating circumstances, but I always often I always wonder what I would have been like, because I played with guys that end up playing in the major leagues that I was at that time really better than. I mean, I was a natural left-handed batter, and I threw right, and I could pitch. I played shortstop, and I was drafted as an outfielder. But anyway, so that always intrigued me. Every now and then I go down with DP, and we do batting practice with the Salt Dogs, and
I see you swinging the stick.
I was still kind of impressed.
Swinging the stick.
I was so impressive that I even thought I could go golf left-handed, but that faded real quick.
That didn't work out.
It didn't work out too well. Yeah.
Not to say you regretted anything, but like looking back, if you not, I don't want to say that
It's
you would
tough.
take anything back or that you would do anything differently as you've done it, but baseball, you said baseball is your first love.
Yeah,
like,
it was. I mean, I'm in Fresno, California, and there's no wind. It's always hot, and that's what I did since I was 7 years old,
Mhm.
and loved it. And it's just one of those things. Obviously I can't complain about my life. I succeeded football wise, but it's one of those things, especially when Bo Jackson was doing, he was
Yeah.
doing, then Deion Sanders.
Did you ever try to do both?
No, I
Here?
I did. I talked to Coach Osborne my junior year, and we had a chance to win the national championship. And Turner Gill had played before that,
Mhm.
and didn't go pro baseball wise. So Coach said, hey Steve, we really got a chance to win a national championship. We need you here. We would like to have you in spring football.
Mhm.
And I said yes. I thought I said yes, but it was cold in Nebraska. I used to go to go to baseball games, and it was cold.
Yeah.
It was 30 degrees, and out there playing. I'm like, there's no way.
Yeah, start of the season's not great.
So that deterred me. And then they had the right bus to go to Oklahoma, and we flew first class all the time, charter flights with football. So you get spoiled.
Yeah.
So I have to own that. And so I said, okay, I just stick with football. And then when I was backing up Doug Flutie up in Canada, I had a lot of time on my hand. And then I saw Keith Mitchell, Tommy Goodwin were all playing in the major leagues. So I called my agent at the time and said, hey, I think I want to play baseball. He said, Steve, I feel you. I know how you feel. You probably would have been in the major leagues because you see your buddies playing, but you haven't hit a curveball since you was 18. And I said, you got to play. And
makes sense.
I was doing okay in Canada.
Yeah.
I was doing okay. So that shit passed.
Mhm.
So that's when I really put it to bed.
So you're talking about Canada. You went up,
Yeah.
you played in the Canadian leagues.
Yeah.
You were drafted 12th in the 12th round.
See, that's another thing. And people need to understand this. I never talked to an NFL scout. I had my ticket on my dining room table to go to combines. I was rated in the top 5 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Now, they told me that all the scouts told me, my agent, that I would be drafted in the first 2 rounds if I would declare myself as an athlete. Right.
But you wanted to be a quarterback.
I said, no way. I'm a quarterback.
Yeah.
I'm not going to play receiver. I'm not going to play running back. And Warren Moon had gone the Canadian route. And Edmonton Eskimos was the dynasty of the Canadian football. They were like the Dallas Cowboys, San Francisco, Oakland, you name it, right? And I was their number 1 choice. And my contract was pretty good. I signed a 4-year deal with them, which was at that time was pretty good. So I thought I would go to Canada and play, 3 or 4 or 5 years and then come back to the States. Now I didn't know Warren Moon had to win 5 Grey Cups to get that opportunity. And the head coach of the Edmonton Eskimos took the GM job at Houston Oilers. That's how he got his opportunity to get to the NFL. So it was a different route at that time for quarterbacks that were mobile, that weren't, 6'4", 6'5", and unfortunately that were African American. So that's the route I decided to go. Now, so take that in consideration. Even though I signed a 4-year deal in February or whatever it was, I was still drafted by the Colts. I was still drafted.
Yeah.
Never talked to anyone and did not go to combines. I think that speaks for itself.
Did they draft you as a quarterback?
They drafted me as a quarterback.
And they called you, did all that, and let you know like
they just drafted me because they wanted my rights and everything if I ever came back.
Case.
And so they wasted a pick on me. I had signed a 4-year deal with the Edmonton Eskimos.
Yeah.
So that's a unique thing that people don't realize, how many athletes want to get drafted that play collegiate sports, right? And here I was drafted and never did anything for the NFL. Nothing.
Do you look at quarterback play in the NFL now and look at some of these guys and just
people tell me all the time,
I was born too early.
I was on the cusp, just like NIL. Like NIL, right? It's all timing, but that's the way it is, but I have no complaints. My life is okay. I have no complaints. But that's just an interesting little fact. I throw that out there now and then just to let people know that, so.
No, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And so getting off of the athletics.
Yeah.
What is Steve Taylor doing now?
I've been in real estate since I retired, since 97. I retired from football on my own choice when I was 30 years old and went into real estate. And I've been doing that for 30 years. Now, the last 5 years, I've been a general contractor. I've been building houses the last 3 to 5 years, and that's been good. I was with Home Real Estate for 20 years. I went to Lincoln First Realty, then was with NP Dodge, which has been great. And they do a lot, tons of reach and everything. So my real estate career has been really has been honestly more successful than my football career, and it's been fun. It's right up my alley. And now that I've been building houses, I enjoy that tremendously. And like I said, MP Dodge is a great company, great people, just like the ticket, So it's revived me. It's my exit plan, and obviously the market is different this year and everything, but we're getting through it. So my business career has been very, very successful for me. I'm able to do what I want to do and provide for my family, my kids, and all that kind of stuff. So it's cool.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So, all right. I know that you gave kind of the rundown of what this show is going to be on the end of the captain, but for anybody that wasn't listening, can you tell people what to expect from our show?
Yeah, and you can help me out with this. This is going to be real talk. We're not going to shy away from anything. People who know me when I was on the Husker Sports Network for all those years, we're going to engage the Husker Nation. We want you to call in. We want you to text. We're going to have some fans come in here and have a conversation with them to get their experience, how they see football. I like to talk to different people. I call it taking the pulse of Husker Nation to see how they feel. I know how I feel as a player and a supporter. I'm never been a fan of anything, but as a supporter. So I like to engage with them, and we're going to have real talk, real issues. We're going to evaluate football. We're going to evaluate play. We're going to do it professionally. We're going to do it as best as we can. I'm not going to be shy, never be disrespectful, and I'm going to call it like I see it. My loyalty is to me, to myself, and then also to my Lord and Savior, then most of all, University of Nebraska-Lincoln. That's who my loyalty is to, regardless who the head coach is or the athletic director. So that's how I can stay consistent with what I do and what I say. Because what I say, I think, is always in the best interest of Nebraska. And of course, Coach Osborne has had a huge influence on me. But I know times have changed. There's no doubt about that. But I was in that quarterback room for 4 years, and you kind of take on that mindset of a great guy, great man like Coach Osborne. Now, he's not perfect because we've had our disagreements, but you learn from that, and that's kind of the way I like to carry myself, and that's how I'm going to approach football. I think I know a little bit about X's and O's, offense and defense and that stuff, but we'll have the black chart on there to give me his perspective, what's going through his mind when he's on the other side looking at me, when I'm looking at him going through my checks and stuff. So I like to feed off all that with you. You're a sports guy. You got the history and all that stuff. I'm not great with like names and who played, who did what. I would know your name once you do something. Other than that,
once you give them a reason to
once you give me a reason, I'm not saying that arrogantly, but so many players come in here and they build them up and they do nothing, right? So I respect that, I understand that, but I'm going to wait to see you play. I'm not going to just evaluate you your first or second year. I'm going to look at your total career and what you're doing. Then I would make what I have my opinion. So
I mean, that's how people see. That's how people feel right now with the entire football program. It's wait and see approach.
And that's
you wait until something happens on the field. You wait until it gets good, or not that it gets good, but wait until you can prove that you're able to hang with the big dogs and you're able to win some games before everybody, jumps in the pool and starts drinking the Kool-Aid. You can't just sit here and just go, oh, well, it's a new coach and new players. They're going to win right away. That's not how this works.
Right. And that's how it was. Now I go back to Coach Osborne with that. Coach Osborne promised me two things when he recruited me, because Lou Holtz and all these other coaches promised me the world right now. And I mean, literally, they offered me some really good money. And but Coach Osborne said, hey, Steve, this is the deal. You're going to play quarterback and you're going to get a chance to get a good education. That's all he promised me. I got the story when I was in the Big Red shop about that. Anyway, so that's what we're going to talk about. Real talk, real issues. We're not going to shy away. We'll talk about current events. We'll talk about this tight end that did something stupid the other day, stuff like that. We'll talk about NIL. We're going to cover everything, and we're going to do it. We're going to do it the best we can and have fun with it.
All right. So before we get to a break, because we're coming up on a break, you mentioned loyalties to the football program, no matter who the head coach, no matter who the athletic director, all of that. What were your immediate thoughts on Matt Rule when he was hired? And as this offseason has gone on, and we're we're 1 day away from the first game of the Matt Rule era at Nebraska, how have your thoughts possibly changed?
First of all, I didn't know anything about him. I'm too busy on the golf course, and I don't follow sports like that. I pretty much just follow Nebraska and the Big Ten, and then your national stuff. That's really good news. But I didn't know too much about Coach. Some players played in the NFL, knew about him and everything. So it was kind of a wait and see type of deal. I just wanted to see what type of staff he was going to do, assemble. I wanted to meet him in person and did that. And I just want to see how he put this team together, how he went about his business. And so far, be frank, he's knocked it out the park. He's done everything that I would expect a head coach to do. He's done everything that the previous administration did not do, So now we're going to see doing the things that he has done. I see why he was successful in the college ranks.
Yep.
Because that's a formula. There's different formulas to be successful, but the one that he has put in place so far looks like it should be successful in the future, whether it's a year, 2, 3, or 4 or 5. You keep doing the things the way that he has done them so far. I feel very confident that Nebraska will be successful on the field.
Are you at all worried, with the rule trajectory and how things have gone at each of his previous collegiate stops?
Nah.
Temple, they win 2 games in his first year.
Well,
Baylor, they win 1 game in his first year. Those are totally different circumstances than him taking over at Nebraska right now. But are you at all worried that, that might be a possibility of like a really bad season, then an okay season, and then a good season? Great season.
I don't worry about too many things anymore. I just worry about my family and providing that kind of stuff and just the general health things. But things that I can't control, I don't really worry. I try not to worry about, right?
Mm-hmm.
But no, like I say, I have a standard, and we're going to get to this later in the game with predictions and stuff of what I think this team should do this year, what I want to see this team, what I would like to see this team do this year.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, what they need to do.
Yes.
What they're going to have to do if they want to be successful. I tell you right now, 1 2 3 wins is out of the question. Out of the question.
Like it has to be 6 or more.
Oh,
right?
yeah, definitely.
Like it has to be.
There's no question about it. I look at the schedule. I'm going to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
I look at the schedule. I look at from what I've seen, those teams are where they are in their programs and where we want to get to. And this is how you think as a player.
Mm-hmm.
Things that you need to do to be successful. So I'm going to have that mentality, and we're going to put that pencil to paper.
Mm-hmm.
And so anything to me less than a 5 or 6 win is 5 to 6 wins is a failure. It really is
Unacceptable.
It's unacceptable. I mean, it really is, because that's the basics.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm taking in consideration where we are on national scale with all the NIL, all the transportal stuff, and all the restructuring, realignments of leagues and conferences and all that stuff. I'm taking all this stuff in consideration. But we at Nebraska need to handle our business and get rid of the noise. So we'll talk more about that. But now 1 or 2 or 3 wins, you do that, you might as well just kept the previous administration.
Yeah.
I'm talking, when I say previous, kept the ones 2, 3, 4 administrations ago.
Before the last administration.
No, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Not just the Frost. I'm talking all the other ones, right?
Yeah.
And even they won more than 6 games.
Yeah.
The Riley, they won more than 6 games.
They were
were
won
ranked
9 in his
Yeah,
second
they were
year.
ranked in the top 10 at one time. And we'll talk more about that stuff, because they always talk bash to Riley administration. Well, look at how many games they won. I'm just saying, I look at facts.
You got what you hired him for, what he had coming in and what you saw coming in. He was a 500 coach in his 3 years in Nebraska. He finished 500.
And
he gave you exactly what you thought you would.
And he's put together a good season or two. Bo was consistent with what he did. Obviously, Solich was consistent with what he did. Callahan never really got the chance. Even he won 5 or 6 games, right? And he
got you a bunch of recruits.
And he had, of all the coaches, he had the biggest hurdle to jump. That's what people don't understand, because they don't really know football. He went to a totally different scheme offensively. So none of the players that were here were really suited for his offensive scheme.
Mm-hmm.
They don't understand that, right? So he, of all head coaches, had the biggest jump. And he probably had the less support from Husker Nation and so forth. So those are things that we'll talk about that make a huge difference that people overlook.
This is going to be a dumb question.
You don't
have to answer it if you don't want to. And it's just, I just thought about it right now because you mentioned that. If Callahan had the transfer portal,
oh God,
do you think things would have gone differently?
Oh, the players he put in the pros, Prince and Sue. Those are the type of players he recruited. He helped Bo out with those guys.
Yeah,
those are his recruits.
If he was able to build faster, if he was able to,
no question,
he probably would have done what Dion did at Colorado.
And that's right up his alley.
Clear it out, bring him in.
He was a professional coach. He knows. No, he could have been successful here. He was not given. He was not given a support in the time that he needed.
That is an interesting thought. On that note, we will go to break. When we come back, we're going to break down the quarterback room with the former All-American quarterback, Jeff Sims, running in the Big Ten, the physicality.
Yeah.
How long will he last? How will this work for
Nebraska? Better last the whole season.
We'll see what happens. We'll be right back. Rapping with Rico and All-American quarterback Steve Taylor on 93.7 The Ticket.
We've got some universally big news for Nebraska Big 5 fans. The price for matching 4 of us has risen from $450 $50 to $500. Visit your favorite Nebraska lottery retailer today. Pick 5 numbers between 1 and 40 or ask for a Nebraska Pick 5 Quick Pick. Match 4 numbers and you could win $500. Each play only costs $1 and there are drawings 7 days a week. It's just another way our game is getting better all the time. Nebraska Pick 5 top prize odds 1 in 658,000.
Junior Achievement of Lincoln inspires and prepares young people for success. Learn more about the people involved in the organization and the success stories over the years each Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. for the Junior Achievement Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Four 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Hey, Mike, I heard the Finish Line is going to be broadcasting live from Eagle Raceway on September 3rd.
Yes, we will. We are going to do a pre-race finish line from 4 until 5. Then Tom and I jump on and do Husker Rewind from 5 until 7. Rebecca joins me again, and we're going to do another hour of TFL from 7 to 8.
Anything else going on?
Like what?
I don't know. Maybe we should see if we can get someone to ride in their 2-seat race car.
Yeah. A former Husker. How about that?
Maybe an All-American.
Oh, somebody who holds 5 franchise rushing records for the Green Bay Packers.
Come on, Green.
Join 93.7 The Ticket this Sunday live from 4 to 8 p.m. at Eagle Raceway for the Race Saver Nationals. Mike Melby, Tom Stevens, Rebecca Pearson, and Husker legend Amon Green will be on hand bringing you all the dirt track action. That's this Sunday, September 3rd at Eagle Raceway. The Southern Pecan Cake from Beatrice Bakery. They don't just let you call anything Southern, especially when it's baked right here in Nebraska. There are standards you have to meet, like a rich, decadent, moist caramel cake? Check. Bursting with too many large pecans to count? Check. Big enough to share with the whole group? Check. But delicious enough that you won't want to share? A big check on that one. The Southern Pecan Cake, the newest cake to the Beatrice Bakery lineup. Try it for yourself at Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and Bob just wanted to say thank you for a record-setting July here at Koppel. The summer sales event continues in August, and the incentives are crazy good. Check this out. We got 0.9% financing along with a $2,500 trade-in rebate on select new models. You heard right. 0.9% financing has been extended along with a trade-in rebate. Also, our GM-certified used inventory is filling up fast, so make that money-saving drive to Koppel. It's just south of the interstate, or shop online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with roof credit.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships, one with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is your go-to place in Lincoln for repairs and maintenance for diesel pickups to Class 8 over-the-road trucks and trailers, from bumper pole utility to full-size semi. Gray performs DOT inspections and are a service provider for fleet companies like ARI, Element Fleet, and FleetNet. They're a family-owned business in operation since 1952, and they keep a clean, friendly shop. Customer service is their top priority. Give Gray Diesel and Equipment Services a visit today, with easy access just off I-80 and North 56th Street.
Hey guys, Jake Sorensen here from Early Break. The garage door at our house has been needing replacement for a couple years, and a few months ago, we finally did something about it. Steve's Garage Doors and Services was great through the whole process in providing options and also going to the next level to get a door that was approved by our HOA. And best of all, the removal of the old door and installation of the new door was done smoothly with no issues. Call Steve's Garage Doors and Services today at 402-480-9462.
Herrick Services takes this time to wish everyone a happy Labor Day. They are thankful for everyone in the workforce who makes this country great and celebrate a deserved day off to rest and reflect. This important message comes to you from Bart and the folks at Herrick Services, your vending specialists here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Herrick Services, on the air because they care.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapeSupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, and they've scouted out the best Kawasaki side-by-side deals for you. Score up to $2,500 off the 2023 Kawasaki Terex and up to $1,000 off Mule Pro FX and FXCs. Whether you want to handle the toughest task in a trusted, tried and true mule or looking to dominate adventure in a Terex, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered with a large selection of Kawasaki side-by-sides in stock at their new 27th and I-80 location. Hurry in, the clock is running down. Offer valid through 9/30/2023, subject to change without notice. Offer available on approved purchases of select new unregistered Kawasaki vehicles. Model and year exclusions apply. Cannot be combined with promotional retail financing rates.
Back to Rappin' with Rico and former All-American quarterback Steve Taylor on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. Rapping with Rico and former All-American quarterback Steve Taylor here on 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. We're also live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, as also Allo channel 951 on your TVs. What are you looking at, Terrell? So weird.
He's looking at that. He always wanted to be an offensive player.
He's such a weirdo. he says that. Rashawn always says he was in like an honorary black shirt. Those two just need to switch, and we'll see who does what. I don't know. Who would Terrell be a better tight end than Rashawn a linebacker?
Oh yeah, Terrell would be better at everything, dude.
The dude's just an athlete.
Terrell's a baller, man. I mean, no disrespect to Rashawn, he's my boy, but come on, man.
Okay.
I'm for real. BJ had his role. He was a captain, and I think he was a captain. I think he got it because by default or something. That's what I was told. But he was a captain. But yeah, I didn't see him play that much.
Mm-hmm.
I was up in Canada anyway.
Yeah,
and
you were doing your thing.
Well, I think he was considered a blocking tight end, right? Which you need, which you definitely need.
Yeah, that's what Tom Osborne said at the Big Red Brunch.
Yeah, I mean, but see, my blocking tight end was Tom Banderas, but he was also smooth. He can catch.
I raced against his son in high school.
Oh, yeah. Josh was quick. Yeah. So
hit me in the chest going over a hurdle.
I may have to get some tape out on the captain just so I can educate myself. So when I talk, I know what I'm talking about. So, but I would say in general, Terrell was an athlete. We all were an athlete, but I will put my money on Terrell.
Before we get to the quarterback talk that we're definitely going to get to.
Yes.
On the text line, again, we want you guys to chime in. 402-464-5685. Honda of Lincoln hotline, Starter Heyman text line. Pecan Pie says, hey, Steve, just so you know, Rico is a negative Nancy regarding Husker football. I'm not negative. I'm just not drinking the Kool-Aid with everybody right now. I'm just trying to keep things realistic, or maybe not realistic, but just in perspective.
Well, you haven't been. I don't think we haven't talked much about the Huskers on this show. I can't talk previous shows, but I'm a very optimistic person, but I'm also a realist. That's why I tell my daughters, if you ask me a question, I hope you can handle the answer.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna be real with you. And I'm going to tone to myself. I'm going to be accountable to me as well. Yeah. But that's the way I roll.
I've been too positive previous seasons. And last year me and Mark were sitting at like 4 wins. And then something happened and it convinced me. And I go, you know what? I think they might, this is a good team. I think you're going to win 8 games.
Yeah. No. We will address that when we go through the schedule here in a little bit.
Yeah. We'll hit that in the final segment. But right now,
we'll see.
Right now, I want Steve to break down the quarterback room for Nebraska.
Okay.
We've got Jeff Sims, the transfer from Georgia Tech, at the top. His number 1 starting quarterback right there. Dual threat, really, really just his. And see, I don't want to be rude, but his legs are his main threat. He can pass the ball. He's done so pretty well.
That's going to have to change. That's going to have to change.
He's done so pretty well before. Not the greatest accuracy at Georgia Tech. I think his highest was around 62. But he had years where he's like in the high 50s.
Mm-hmm.
And they're shooting for a 65% completion percentage this season.
Well, I mean, percentages now have gone up dramatically. I mean, they throw a lot of hitches, a lot of passes that really are not like down the field throws. So your percentages should be up, So that whole ballpark has changed with just the changing of offense. So yeah, you want your percentages to be high. Bottom line is this: I want a quarterback that's going to make plays. Going to make plays.
I mean, that's
with
what
his feet and in the air. You're going to have to be able to make plays in this day and age. You had to always make plays, but more so now. You're going to have to be able to make plays.
Now, what I will say, so that everybody doesn't think I'm being super negative, is when Jeff Sims went to Georgia Tech, when he committed, they were still a triple option. So once they switched from the triple option to more of a pro style, more passing as opposed to running, he was still the quarterback, but they recruited him to do one thing. He was, the guy that they wanted to run a triple option, not to pass the ball, sling the ball around the yard. So not saying he couldn't do it. Obviously, he was a quarterback. He has the ability to do that, but that's not what he was there for. That's not the type of wide receivers and tight ends and offensive line blocking that they recruited for when he got there. So in those 2 years after, they were still trying to adjust their wide receivers, tight ends, offensive line, quarterbacks to more passing than running.
Yeah. See, I'm gonna make it real simple for you, Rico. You got to throw that all out the door because I was a passing quarterback in high school. They sprinkled in some options my junior and senior year. My coach saw Nebraska, they put in a couple options, but I was forbidden to even run the football from Pop Warner to like my sophomore year in high school.
Okay.
I threw the football, right? So I could deliver the football and I can read coverages. I had to really learn the option. That's why Oklahoma wasn't really high on me. Schools that really ran a triple option like that. So I had to learn how to run the option, right? So like I said, you have to, and I can make plays with my feet. I can make plays with my arm. I can beat you either way, right? So I want a quarterback that's mobile. I would like to have a quarterback that's mobile, elusive, can escape the rush. Now, would you want one to go 90 yards? Absolutely. But I want one that can just be elusive. Mahomes, Patrick is like that. Now, he's a different animal, right? But Adrian Martinez was like that, right? So I want a quarterback that can make plays and make good decisions. That's what you're going to have to be successful. So I don't care what you did, wherever you were, whatever. This day and age, to be competitive, you're going to have to be able to do both, unless you have a great offensive line, great running back, and you're going to rely on rushing the football like a Wisconsin, right? But they're going to be limited. That's why I talk about Wisconsin all the time. When did they win? When they had a guy like Russell Wilson, who, again, is a Hall of Fame quarterback. And I talk about this all the time. Why not recruit another quarterback that has those type of intangibles?
That is weird how they haven't gone back.
Yeah, Iowa quarterbacks all look like who's a great Chuck Malone. I mean Chuck Long. They all look like them.
They're just statues.
Yeah. The one at Purdue that was really successful. What did he do? He was elusive. He can throw the football.
You weren't going to ask
who that
him to
was,
go.
right?
You weren't going to ask him to go 50 yards.
No, I don't care.
But he could make plays.
If you can do that, fine. But if you can avoid the rush and get first downs with your feet and move the chains, I'm good with that. So I'm going to wait to see if Sims can do that, right? He's big, he's strong, he has all the physical attributes, but let's see what he can do. And another part, which is huge, which I tell my wife all the time because she gets mad at me, you got to stay healthy. I don't care.
That was going to be my next question for you.
Certain players are injury prone. They are. I was like, I can't get hurt. You just can't get hurt. All the great quarterbacks here they were hurt at one time, but consistently they were healthy and they played.
They were missing like half of the season.
Exactly. So you have to, that's just part of the game. Not only at the quarterback position, at any position. That's just football. You're no good to the team if you're on a bench consistently. I don't care how great you are.
How did that make you feel when they were talking about incorporating the quarterback run more? Not only because it's kind of going back to when Nebraska had more successes when the quarterback was running, but also thinking about the Big Ten and how Nebraska has had some mobile quarterbacks in the past while they've been in the Big Ten, but none of them have really been able to stay healthy because of the amount of running.
Well, they were fragile and they're injury prone.
I mean, Jeff Sims has missed multiple games at Georgia Tech.
I'm just saying, you got a guy like Crouch, Frost, myself. Tommy Frazier had a health thing. Even he played.
That was different.
That's what I'm saying. There's certain illnesses, right? But all the guys played. I'm going to miss some, of course, but you can't get hurt, and you can't get hurt consistently. I was banged up, had shots and all that kind of stuff, and it's not about me or nothing like that. You got to be healthy. So, yeah, he needs to stay healthy. That's why you want have a backup that can play, just in case. But unfortunately, you can't afford to let nagging injuries hurt you now. Blown LCL, blown knee or something like that.
Massive injuries is different.
Yeah, things happen with football, but still, you have to learn how to run. You have to learn how to fill the pocket to limit you getting hurt. That's part of football. Linemen do it. Linebackers do it. Corners do it. That's just football. My wife gets mad at me and goes, people get hurt. I'm like, yeah, you can't get hurt. I said, you can't get hurt. It's the bottom line.
People get hurt. There are freak injuries, but there are ways to.
Yeah, and things happen.
There are ways to avoid some of those injuries.
I watched Martinez run. I've watched Adrian run. And they were run where he's going to get hurt. You can't put your body in that position. You can't take on a defender in that position. You can't wince going into a hit, right? That's how you get injured. Those type of injuries, and Adrian was a good solid player and did some things. So and Martinez did some great things too. So, but bottom line is that you got to win football games. And you got to stay healthy at every position, not just at the quarterback position, at every position. But obviously, the quarterback position is one of the most important positions on the field.
So when you're looking at this offense, when you hear what Matt Rule and what Marcus Satterfield have said about how the offense is going to be run, how they're going to incorporate more quarterback runs, how they want to run the ball, they want to be kind of a ground and pound team, and you have some playmakers at wide receiver and tight end as well.
Good luck with that. I'm just saying.
What it all comes back to, is one position group.
Yeah,
the offensive line.
You got to have depth. You got to have depth. You got to have the ability to do that day in and day out. I mean, I thought about that today. Someone asked me about my fullbacks, what they look like. I said, dude, they all look like their face mask was all chewed up. Their helmets are all scarred up. Blood was gushing down their face all the time. They were just a wrecking ball.
And that's the fullback you want.
That's a fullback. Yeah. That's what your job is. You're the lead blocker. You block and you take on things. It's a physical sport. So, that's fine and dandy. This day and age, I'm not running like that. I mean, put me in a spread, do some RPOs, get me out in space. But I'm not going to be rushing the ball like 20, 30 times a game like we did back in the day. I'm going to pick and choose my runs, scrambles and stuff like that, just to limit that pounding. And people talk about the Big Ten, the physicality. I don't care. Football is football. Whether in the SEC, the Pac, we always called the Pac-12 soft or whatever when we were there. But you got to be tough. If you want to play with the best, you got to be tough and you got to be physical. So I don't care what league you're in. That's just a consistency of football. You got to be physical. You're a gladiator.
So when you look at Sims, and this will be the last one before we
we're good.
When you look at Sims and you see what he's done at Georgia Tech, you see his body right now, how massive he is compared to everybody else. What are your, I don't want to say like numbers expectations, but in terms of him having success, what does he need to do for Nebraska to have success?
He needs to win games. And he needs help winning games. It's not all on him. He needs to make plays, make good decisions with the football if you want to win games. I'm not putting it all on him. If I had his physical attributes, his size and stuff, like I would emulate Cam Newton. I'll look at tape of Cam Newton. I'll do what he does. Cam Newton makes people miss. He can be physical and he can deliver the football. He's accurate enough where he can deliver the football. And I want to make a lot of money in the league. So whatever you got to do to get there, if I'm Phil Simms, that's what I'm doing. So that's what he has to do. Now, whatever offense they do, they're going to have to hide their weaknesses, whatever those weaknesses are, and we're going to find out. But in the end, you're going to have to be able to run the football and you're going to have to be able to throw it unless you got a great defense where you can control the clock, but you don't see football being played like that pretty much anymore.
When everybody looks at Sims, they just think how big he is. He's going to run through tackles.
He needs to stay healthy.
But I like what you said, how you need to avoid hits as well.
Yeah.
Just because you're that big doesn't mean that you can take on everybody.
You can't do that.
At some points, you're going to need to slide. You're going to need to run out of bounds. You're going to have to make the decision of, you know what? Maybe I should just throw this ball away. You know what? Maybe I should just take the 2 yards and step out of bounds or give myself up, slide to the ground. There are certain times, and unfortunately we saw that, especially the Michigan game with Adrian Martinez, where you need to be okay with the amount of yards you've got, and you need to stop fighting for yards.
And you got to know when to run out of bounds. There's certain times you got to just take it on and get the first down. Especially once you get in the green zone, because every inch, every foot matters, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you have to know when to take. And I had to learn that playing pro ball, because it was ingrained in me. So Nebraska quarterbacks couldn't run out of bounds. We got graded down.
Really?
You couldn't run out of bounds. You got graded down. You could not run out of bounds. You got graded down.
Frowned upon.
No, you got graded down. Not frowned upon. It was unacceptable. Right now, when I went pro, it's okay for quarterbacks to run out of bounds.
They're like, no, please do.
Yeah, I had to learn that, or slide.
Yeah.
But you had that mentality, no. So you have to, but sometimes you got to do it, right? And you see quarterbacks do it on all levels. So, he's just going to have to stay healthy, because the backups don't have a lot of experience. We saw that, right? New system too. We don't know what they have. So he's the best that we have. We're going to ride him, and I wish him the best. I think he can be successful. I'm not saying he has to put up astronomical numbers and all this stuff. Just make good, solid decisions, take care of the football, run when you need to, get the tough yardage, and be accurate enough and throw the football well enough where you can beat someone. A defensive team has to be afraid of you, that you can throw the football, and also if you can run it. You got to be a dual threat. It's nice to have a dual threat, unless you got a great surrounding cast with offensive linemen, running backs, and receivers.
You
a great defense.
Dual threat, you're going to take somebody out of coverage because they might have to leave a spy, and that's going to help you.
Yes.
If you're accurate, then you're going to limit turnovers and all that stuff. That'll help a quarterback
and make good decisions. Make good decisions with the football.
That's got to be like number one. Good decisions. Number one.
I'm okay with interceptions. There's good and bad interceptions, and some you can't control, but you literally have to make good decisions. That's hugely important playing football, along with getting yourself in the right play to be successful.
All right, when we come back, Rappin with Rico and All-American quarterback Steve Taylor, we're going to make our predictions.
Yes.
How the season's going to go. Yes. Going to go through the games, and we'll give you guys our game-by-game prediction for Nebraska and kind of give you our score prediction for the Minnesota game, maybe. We'll see what happens.
I don't do scores. But
don't do scores? Okay, we'll give predictions, though.
We're going to change that narrative with predictions. We're going to talk about that.
All right. Yeah. Up next on 93.7 The Ticket.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree, and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on an MBA. For me, the experience has been life-changing.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
Jay Foreman here. Join us on Thursday, August 31st for our pregame show for Nebraska against Minnesota at the Warhorse Casino in Southwest Lincoln. We'll go from 4 p.m. to kickoff at 7 p.m. with the whole ticket crew. Make sure to drop by and see us at the Warhorse Casino.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com. or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
The Butchery by Venue is Lincoln's premier specialty grocers. Take the quality Venue home with you with our hand-cut steaks, handcrafted burgers, and locally sourced offerings. Browse our wide selection of specialty products designed to enhance your dining experiences with cheeses, spices, sauces, and more. We also have an exclusive collection of liquors, whiskeys, and bourbons at prices you're sure to love. Stop in to the Butchery by Venue today, located in our Venue at Home storefront at 70th and Pioneers, just 2 doors down from Venue Restaurant and Lounge.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
What would you tell a friend who was on the fence about going to Limitless Mail?
I would tell them to go to Limitless today. Don't hesitate. You're going to second guess yourself on if it's the right decision. The staff there is amazing. The treatments were perfect. Completely change your life for the better.
Join thousands of men who have Change their lives with testosterone treatment. Slow down the aging process and live life. Schedule your free consult at limitlessmail.com.
Hey guys, Jake Sorensen here from Early Break. The garage door at our house has been needing replacement for a couple years, and a few months ago, we finally did something about it. Steve's Garage Doors and Services was great through the whole process in providing options and also going to the next level to get a door that was approved by our HOA. And best of all, the removal of the old door and installation of the new door was done smoothly with no issues. Call Steve's Garage Doors and Services today at 402-480-9462.
Buzz in the air of Kansas. Maybe it's the roar of a fan here at the track, or the anticipation of the playoffs as drivers fight to move on to the next round and keep their championship alive. Maybe it's the pulse of the thrill of, or the sounds of grills sizzling in the campgrounds. Whatever it is, it will be one memorable weekend. Now, playoffs weekend at Kansas Speedway. September 8th through the 10th. Get your tickets today at kansasspeedway.com.
Hey guys, it's Sainer. Join me and Jay Foreman Friday p.m. for Lincoln Southeast versus Lynx. Both the Knights and the Spartans look to bounce back after dropping their season openers in week 1. And you can hear all the action unfold. Jay put it down alongside me better than anybody else. Kickoff is slated for 7 p.m. from Seacrest Field, but pregame starts at 6:40 p.m. It's high school football on Friday Night Lights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Hey guys, it's Nick Sainer. Join me and Jay Foreman this Friday night at 7 p.m. for Lincoln Southeast versus Lincoln East. Both the Knights and the Spartans look to bounce back after dropping their season openers in week 1. And you can hear all the action unfold with Jay breaking it down alongside me better than anybody else. Kickoff is slated for 7 p.m. from Seacrest Field, but pregame starts at 6:40 p.m. It's high school football on Friday Night Lights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to Rappin with Rico and former All-American quarterback Steve Taylor on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back on All-American quarterback Taylor here on 93.7 The Ticket. Final segment of the inaugural show. It's gone quick.
It has. An hour flies by, dude.
It's been a fast show, man.
It's
been a good show.
That means we're having fun.
Exactly.
And we're having a good time. And we're trying to do some good things. So
we're just hanging out.
Yeah.
Talking, laughing, joking.
Yeah.
But now, serious.
Well, before we get to that, what was on the text line? Who we have?
Oh, we have. There's
I want
a
to
lot
take
of
at
people,
least one
but
text, one call for sure.
So let's go
see.
with let's go with wet blankets because we were talking about quarterbacks. Let's go with wet blanket. Jeff Sims is a career 57% passer and has more turnovers than any active college football quarterback.
Yeah.
So if he is somebody now that he has never been before NU, will he be, or that somebody now that he has never been before NU will be good? I don't like the odds.
See, that's I like that because here's the deal. That's when coaching in your system makes a huge thing, and what type of situations they put him in and how he's coached. So you could see a different quarterback than what you saw at Georgia Tech.
Mm-hmm.
If that happens, that's good for us. Now, do people are who they are? And I said this about other quarterbacks. They always revert back to what they were, right? Naturally, when it hits the fan. But you can get better and you can learn. And coaching has a lot to do with that. And I think Rule and his staff has the ability to do that. Now, can he make that transition? Can he do that? Because he knows things that he did there that he can do differently here that can make him be a better quarterback. So that is possible, and we're going to find out tomorrow. We'll find out a little bit tomorrow.
We'll see. Well, I feel like we're going to find out a lot more because Minnesota's defense is was really good last season. I don't know. I don't remember or know exactly how many pieces they lost on that defense from last season, but I do know that they put together a really good defense last year, and I expect them to have a solid defense this year. So Nebraska's offense is going to be tested right out of the gates.
For sure.
We'll see what
that's a good thing.
We'll see what Sims and company have in their back pocket.
Yep.
We did hear from Rule yesterday, and he did say that Teddy Prohaska, some offensive people, Teddy Prohaska and Marcus Washington are both good to go, but I would be surprised if we saw Teddy at all against Minnesota. Marcus Washington, I think, makes an appearance here and there. I don't think he plays the entire game, but I think you sprinkle Marcus Washington in there for a couple plays here and there. Teddy, I don't think we see him at all, though. Let's
just win the game. So whatever you got to do to win the game. So
yeah,
that's part of the deal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So all right. So we're gonna go through the schedule.
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's dive into it.
Starting off tomorrow,
Okay.
7:00 up in Minneapolis,
Yeah.
Nebraska versus the Golden Gophers of Minnesota.
Yeah. See, when I talk about the narrative, this is why I don't like predictions. I look at must wins and games games that you if you want to get to where you want to, there's some games you have to win. Now, we're going to take Minnesota and Colorado, right? We have to win one of those games.
Yes.
If we want to get to where we want to, and we have to win one of those games. Are they both winnable? I think they are. But with the situation, the way things are, I say that more than likely we will probably lose to Minnesota. I would put that as no, I got that backwards. We have to beat Minnesota. We'll probably lose, but that's a game that we have to win. So I'm going to put a W there
for Nebraska.
And the reason why I say that is because I think that's going to be a more winnable game than Colorado.
Really?
Yes. I think that's a more winnable game than Colorado.
I don't agree with that.
I like that.
Colorado, and look, this is the hard part for it. Okay. Colorado, rebuilding the entire thing. Dion, great coach at Jackson State, right? Great coach. Had both of his sons there doing big things. Shadir Sanders, apparently, a Heisman contender in his first year at Colorado, whatever they want to say. Sure, why not? But Minnesota has had PJ Fleck for however long he's been there. I couldn't tell you exactly how long he's been there, but he's built this culture up for the Golden Gophers, and they've been going strong for as long as he's been there. And I think that in this first year of Matt Rule, it's going to be hard for Nebraska to just go up to Minneapolis, especially since it's at Minnesota, go up to Minneapolis and even sneak out a W. I think there's a chance, but I don't see them winning that Minnesota game. The Colorado game, this is going to be a battle of a team that won one game last year and a team that won four games last season.
That's a different administration.
And I understand that.
Different atmosphere, different administration. Okay, first of all, I would not bet against primetime. I'm just going to say that.
Hard.
Right? I mean, I'm not going to bet. I mean, I'm going to bet against them with certain. I think that team is going to be prepared. Colorado is always a difficult place to play. I think they have more talent offensively. So I think they're more of a threat than Minnesota. I think they're more of a threat offensively, even though that they're unproven and they were not. So well, the quarterback's not a Power 5 quarterback, but I think that's a tougher game, tougher environment, tougher circumstances to go in there and come out with a victory. So I think the Minnesota game is winnable more than Colorado. So that's why I think we have a better chance, even though it's a season opener and whatever Minnesota has, that we have a better chance to win that game. But we have to win one of those two.
It's Colorado for me. They are better offensively. I'll give you that.
Yeah. I think they would be.
Hearing everything from Pac-12 writers and Pac-12 media people who are going to Colorado, who are going to these Colorado practices, they're saying this is a fast team. They are fast. They are going to put up points. The only issue, and it's a big issue, offensive and defensive line, they're small.
Hey,
they are smaller than everybody else, and if
it could be fast
teams
and quick,
take advantage of that, and if you can get to Shadir before he has time to get the ball out to Travis Hunter, look, it's going to be a long day for Colorado. If they can't get any pressure up front on opposing quarterbacks or be able to stuff the run, it's going to be a long day for Colorado. So we'll see. We'll see.
I'm just saying we have to win one of those two games, and I think the Minnesota game, in my opinion, I think we have a better chance to win that season opener. I think Colorado's gonna be a tough game. So we'll kill two birds with one stone. So I say we got to get the win with Minnesota. So I'll put an L by Colorado.
Okay. So right now
you lost. You lost.
Okay. So right now we have about a minute left. We got to get out of here, make room for the next show. So we're gonna go quick through the rest of these. No, just Northern Illinois.
That's a win.
That's a win.
You got to win that game.
Louisiana Tech. That's a win.
You got to win that
Michigan,
game.
that's a loss.
Huskers, that's a loss.
That's a loss. At Illinois.
You got to win that game.
I think that one's going to be a loss.
Okay, but I'm saying you got to win that game.
You got to win.
I don't care what you think. I'm just saying you got to win that
Northwestern, that's a definite. You need to win that game. There's no way you can lose. Purdue.
I'm going to go. First year coach, you got to win that game.
Okay, that's a win there. At Michigan State, going up to the woodshed.
That's probably, I would say we probably lose that game, but that's a game that we have to win.
Yep.
I'm going to put an asterisk by it. That's a game we got to win.
All right, we're going to go quick, rapid fire. Maryland, Wisconsin, Iowa.
Okay. Maryland, I'm going to go with the quarterback there. I'm going to say we probably lose that game, although we should win it. I'm going to put an asterisk by there. Wisconsin lost there. Iowa, we got to win that. So what's that record there?
So you've got
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 7. If that happens, that's a great year.
That would be a
great year.
That would be a fantastic first year for Matt Rule in Nebraska.
There you have it. You got it.
I don't agree with it, but that would be great.
We beat Iowa last year with the circumstances that we had. Wisconsin is going to be prepared. They're going to be solid.
Yeah.
Maryland, the quarterback, I give the quarterback edge there, but you got to beat Maryland.
Yeah.
Michigan State, you probably lose that game.
Gonna be hard.
That's going to be hard, but you should.
Right.
Yeah. So
yeah. All right.
I got 7.
That's it for the first inaugural show of Rappin' with Rico and All-American quarterback Steve Taylor. Thank you guys for hanging with us. We'll be back at it next Wednesday, 12 o'clock. Come hang out with us. Thank you for listening. Adios.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTA FM for 93.7 The Ticket.
What would you tell a friend who was on the fence about going to Limitless Mail?
I would tell them to go to Limitless today. Don't hesitate. You're going to second guess yourself on if it's the right decision. The staff there is amazing. The treatments work. I'm living proof that it can completely change your life for the better.
Join thousands of men who have changed their lives with testosterone treatment. Slow down the aging process and live life. Free consult at limitlessmail.com.
Summer is winding